the key thing that marginal analysis helps us solve is what is called the water diamond paradox. So you will die without water. We all need water, and yet water is dirt cheap. Whereas diamonds are extremely superfluous. Nobody needs them. Nobody's going to live or die because they have a diamond, and yet they're extremely expensive. So why is it that as human beings we pay maybe, say, $1 a liter for water, whereas we pay thousands of dollars for a few grams of diamonds? Why is this the case? Do we value water less than diamond? And the answer is no. But at the margin, where we are right now, you live in a place where water is very abundant, because cities are only built in places where water is abundant. And you're only making a choice about the next unit of water. And so water is extremely abundant, and you're choosing about whether to spend the next unit of money on water. The valuation that you give to water, given that you have a lot of water at home and that you live in a place that has abundant water, is pretty low to the marginal unit. But it's very high for water overall. So if I asked you, how much would you spend for water in general? You know, how much would you pay for water for all of your life? It would be a lot higher than diamonds. You know, if I told you you can only have water or diamonds for the rest of your life, you choose water, obviously. But nobody's ever had to make that choice. You only make your choices at the margin. So at the margin, where we are, in modern civilization, we have an abundance of water. That's why we have civilization. And diamonds are very rare and scarce. And people are only buying, you buy your first diamond when you're going to get married, and you give it to your wife. And it's going to be the first few grams of diamond that she's ever going to own.
I'm giving my wife water.
Smart move. You should definitely give her Bitcoin instead of diamonds. I tell my wife, I occasionally remind her how many Bitcoin we could have had if I bought her Bitcoin with the price of the diamond ring.
What's the downside of, by the way, diamonds from the analysis of like gold and so on?
That's a great question. Arguably, diamonds are a scam. Because they became popular as a thing in marriage after gold was banned, after gold ownership was banned in the US in the 1930s and in many places around the world. So before that, you'd give gold. And the reason you'd give gold in a dowry in a wedding is because, it wasn't just that it's pretty and shiny, it's because it's money. And so, if you die, your wife can take the gold and she can live off of it. It's a demonstration that you're giving her something valuable. And that's because nobody can make a lot more gold. It has the high stock to flow ratio. But then they banned gold ownership, or they allowed people to only own very tiny quantities of gold. And that's when the diamond industry stepped in and marketed diamonds as, the thing that you need to give. But the problem with it is, of course, that diamonds aren't like gold. They're not very hard to make more of. And the reason we have scarcity in diamonds is really artificial. There's effectively a monopoly of diamond producers. They restrict the supply, and it's a pretty dirty business. And the way that they do it is, all of the talk about blood diamonds is a way for them to ensure their monopoly. So if you're part of the monopoly of diamond producers, then it doesn't matter how many people get killed producing your diamonds. If you're out of the monopoly, then human rights organizations descend on you and call for shutting you down for selling blood diamonds. And they're also restricting the production of artificial diamonds. This is the other thing. You can make artificial diamond, you can't make artificial gold. So they restrict the production of artificial diamond, and they try and insist that, you shouldn't take artificial diamonds, but they're indistinguishable from real diamonds. So it's an artificial scarcity, and I think there's going to come a point at some point that this monopoly is going to break, and a lot of people are going to be left with essentially highly devalued jewelry.
I'm going to take this segment of the podcast. When I'm getting married, I'm going to send it, and then instead you're getting water or Bitcoin.
Yes, water and Bitcoin is all you need.